Plaintiff Jacob Moore says the defendant married his mother when he was a baby, and he's the only father Jacob has ever known. Jacob claims growing up they didn't have much money, and oftentimes he had to shower at the neighbor's house when their water was shut off. Jacob claims he put the defendant's electric bill in his name and he failed to pay it, so Jacob is suing. Defendant Carl Johnson says he raised Jacob as his own son, and he gave him everything he could. Carl insists he asked Jacob to put the electric bill on a payment plan, but he never did.
Start with you.
All right, so it starts when I was 1.5 years old. Unfortunately, my biological father, he committed suicide. So from that time on, this has been Dad to me. And this is what makes this so hard to do, because this is Dad. And we would go on fishing trips. We did the Cub Scouts. My parents got married in about '98. And fast forward some years later, unfortunately, he gets an eye injury in about 2005, puts him on disability. When that happens, money starts to get tight. Things start to get a little more stressful, obviously. And I remember days from high school, I have to go over to neighbors' houses to take showers before school. I would come home, there's no electricity, there's no water. So things definitely start to get a little tough when those times happened.
Okay, sir, you gonna give me some background?
Yeah, well, I raised Jacob since he's been a youngster, you know, and changed his diapers and everything else and raised him as my own. And I took care of him and gave him everything possibly I could give him and do as much as I could for him. And at this time, well, here we are.
All right, and why are you suing him today? What happened?
Okay, so me and my lovely wife here, we got married in October of 2014. And when that happened, she moved in with me over to my parents' house, and we're staying there to about May of last year.
And obviously you were paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
I was always giving them like half of my checks. So pretty much whatever I made, it would be like $500, $600, $700 a month. I was helping them with everything I could.
Oh, that ain't right.
That's
How
untrue.
much was he getting?
As much as he could give, sometimes like $400 out of his check, but he wasn't giving no $600 at a time. He's over-exaggerating what he was giving, but he was trying to help out when he could.
That's untrue, because when you would ask me, Jacob, do you have anything in your account for anything to help pay the mortgage, I unloaded the entire thing for you.
You've never gave me $600
That's a lie.
towards the mortgage or
anything.
anything.
All right, so you were,
we were moving
doing your share. Go ahead.
So before we moved out, they were having problems with the electric and it was going to get shut off. So they asked me if I can turn it on in my name, which I agreed to on the condition that they would keep up paying the bill, because I wasn't going to live there anymore. We were about to move out, and they knew that I was about to move out. So once we moved out, things, I'm assuming, are going good. Now, fast forward to about March of this year, and we go over there because I need to collect some mail. So my mom handed me a big stack of the papers, like, oh, here's all your stuff. When we start to go through it, we see tons of ComEd bills that are past due, past due, past due.
And you were aware of those bills?
No,
aware
I
or not?
wasn't.
You're supposed to pay them. Go ahead.
So when we open up the most up-to-date one, when we open it up, it's for April of this year. And the bill, if you want to look at it, its total due is $2,548.
Did it ruin your credit?
If we don't get it paid, we'll go into collection, which will ruin my credit, which affects me severely. Because before we renewed our lease for our apartment, we were looking into getting a mortgage for condos, trying to get things established.
Plaintiff Jacob Moore is suing his stepfather, who claims he only met Jacob's wife one time before they got married.
Sir?
All right.
You want to tell me about the light bill?
Okay, well, like I said, I took care of him, and anyways, him and his wife got married, and I didn't really even know that they were going to get married. All I know is that all of a sudden it came along, and he's like, hey, Dad, I need my birth certificate, I need these things, and then we went out there that day, they ended up getting married. We never even met the lady before, and he goes, hey,
That's
Dad, can I
That's
I
a lie.
move?
You've
Can
met
I move
Alex
in?
before. You met her at Aaron's birthday, my nephew. You've met her before.
Well, I didn't know you were
introduced
serious. You were going to get married.
We were dating for over a year.
I mean, how long did I
Oh,
meet
you were
this
dating
woman?
how long?
We were dating for a year
You
when
were
we
dating
married.
over a year.
And
Yes.
when I
Yeah,
seen her
sir.
once. I seen her once.
No,
we
that's
didn't
not
even know the
true.
relationship existed exactly.
That is untrue. I told you the night that our first date, I came home and talked to you guys about her. I talked about her constantly.
She's the one.
Yeah, that's what he said. He told you.
Hey, but anyways, like I said, you know, here we get a phone call. We go out and they get married. So I'm a good guy, and she goes, Dad, can I move my wife into the house with me? We're going to get married. Boom, surprise on me. I was like, sure, you know, I'm a good guy. I want the best for my son. I want him to excel. I want everything to go good for him.
Yeah.
So at the time they moved in, they had no car to get to and from college herself. She had a car originally, but when they got married, the parents took her car away. So I was being a good enough guy. I took my family car, my car that me and my wife drive.
You had multiple
and
cars.
we didn't at the time, and I gave it to Jacob at the time to drive. So then I borrowed a car from my nephew, a van, which put me in where I had to do extra work for him and do favors for him because I was using his car, and I was under his thumb too.
Your Honor.
But I was doing that to give them a good start in life.
Her parents took her car.
Yeah, her parents took her
and
car.
you had to give her one.
And I gave them my car right away so that they would not, they both of them go to college. They're trying to excel in life. And both of them are doing good. And I wanted them
Sir,
to keep
did her
up.
parents take her car? And
It
so
was
why?
her parents' car. But
Yeah, why did they take it? They were letting her use it at first.
Yeah, well,
why did they
because
take it?
they moved in with us, so we were going to get our own. But he failed to leave out the part that I was paying $230 every single month for that car because he had a title loan on it. So it wasn't like I was getting a free car here.
Not every month. I had paid.
Sir!
Okay.
You keep acting like you're doing him these big favors.
Well, I have been. I
And
gave
they
him
all
my
come
car,
at- they all
and
come at
he
market
did not
price.
he did not make the payments.
$237. What was it? Unless it was a 2010 Jaguar or something?
It was
What
an
kind of one?
old 97 like Saturn.
A 97.
And when you were paying a
You
payment,
had him paying $230 for a 1997.
well, we got the title loan to keep the house from folding for the mortgage. So he knew that, and he wasn't making payments for the house payments, and he even
That's
missed payments
untrue.
on the car that I had to go out and make the payments
All right, sir.
for the car for them
That's
to
untrue.
use. Number of times, and I live on Social Security. I got hurt on a job. As he said, my income had dropped, boom, substantially. So that's why we had to work the bills. I came to Jacob and I told him, this bill is getting outstanding, so we need to call the comment and see if we could work out a payment arrangement on it. So he acted like I didn't even say that to him. That's why I had my wife here as a witness. In December, we went to him.
That's
he works at
untrue.
Walmart.
Well,
at
if
the
he
meat
acted like
counter.
you didn't say anything, maybe he didn't hear you.
Well, he did. He responded to me.
Why would I
and
bring you
my
out
wife
to
was right
movies
there.
during
He was
Christmas?
just acting, like an idiot, like he didn't want to hear it. He
How's
didn't want
he
to
an
hear it.
idiot?
Well, he was. He's just, I'm driving to school, driving to college, pick him up at his job. I'm telling him, I got the water bill, I got everything all squared away. Let's work on this electric bill. And I told him I had to take over the car payment. They moved out. They got another car. So the car ended up in my lap, and he was taking care of that payment on the car because they were using it.
So you say such good things at first and how nice of a guy you are to your stepson. And I'm always convinced
hey,
once you say it, and then by the end of it, you're about 50%. So I'm going to start believing about 50% of what
No,
you
I'm
say
not.
you've done for him.
He was supposed
Let me
to.
hear from your wife. Maybe she'll tell me a little better. State
Go
your
ahead.
name, ma'am.
Angela Johnson.
What do you want to tell me?
Just that, we've tried to help Jacob as much as we possibly could, and we just needed a little bit of help with the electric bill because I'm disabled and I'm not able to work or anything, and the bill was in my name.
Plaintiff Jacob Moore is suing his stepfather, who claims he only met Jacob's wife one time before they got married.
And your only defense today is that he wouldn't make a payment plan with ComEd?
Well, no, he didn't. He would not. He knew the situation with the bill was getting larger, right? And he threw the car
So you wanted
payment
him to
on
turn
my
him
lap.
off? What did you want him to do?
I asked him, I said when I had the white car, I had the car, I gave him
Sir,
and his wife.
what did you want him to do
I
about
said,
this light
you guys
bill?
keep this car and
Judgment for the plaintiff,
just pay it off.
$2,548.
Thank
They
you.
acknowledge owing it. The only defense is you wouldn't make a payment plan. Have a good day. Judgment
you.
for the plaintiff.
Why do it? Why do it to begin with?
What? You're the one that's disrespectful. You're the one that came into the situation, and when I had talked to you and you were going to make a payment plan with it,
Nothing
you
is
and your wife
disrespectful.
cracked the
I
whip.
helped you.
Your wife cracked the whip, and you just did what you
No,
wanted
I didn't
to
want
do.
to be used anymore.
You weren't
That's
being
what you've
used.
done
You
to
weren't being
me.
used at all. I was being used by you and your wife. You lived
How
in my
about
house
you?
for all
I
those
paid.
months, and you gave me $400 a month. And
I
you were using
paid.
electric.
Using would be
Yours
there for
electric
free.
and
I
everything
paid to
else.
be there,
Did you,
and I paid to
did
have
you
the
pay
car
electric?
payment.
Did you,
You
pay
guys
the water?
used me. I didn't leave you with the bill.
I paid the water bill when you left the $600.